Does anybody have any questions or comments for me? Yes.
You know, you're showing all the people and the equipment and everything. Was BP paying for every single bit of that, those slides you were showing?
Amazingly, yes. Now, obviously, the government was very much involved, and there were a lot of government employees down there, and still are. And so some of the manpower was being paid for by the U.S. government. But every vessel of opportunity contract was paid for by BP. Every worker salary was paid for by BP. And BP did some other things, like there's a gorgeous new bike trail on the backside of Orange Beach that runs along Wolf Bay, compliments of BP. Had nothing to do with the spill. There are some gorgeous new boats and facility to put them in at Bon Secours National Wildlife Refuge, compliments of BP. Has nothing to do with the spill. So they just started doing this with the money. And we just said, okay, you know, we'll take it. It was, we felt like it was our right to take it from them, because we're pretty sure that they're going to pull up stakes and be gone, and we'll get nothing more from them.
And that's all right, too.
Yes.
We buy the gas and all.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Lord, I hope this doesn't happen again, but have we learned anything from a reactionary standpoint that we do differently?
Yeah. It's interesting that you asked. On January 11th, the commission is going to be presenting its findings to President Obama. And part of that study was to see, you know, the federal agencies say that they've tightened up, that they have checked all the existing rigs in the Gulf for safety issues and concerns, and they've studied all of the permits that were submitted during the 6-month moratorium. That moratorium is over. Those permits are going to be allowed to move forward. None of them are through BP, but so what? Mobil, Exxon, Shell, all of them have submitted permits, and those will move forward, some near shore and some offshore. So we can only hope that it scared the heck out of them.
Yeah, but what if it happens again, by whomever? Would we do something differently? Like not use dispersants or not use booms or something?
The EPA has decided to ban the use of dispersants the next time in the Gulf of Mexico. That's the only place where they've said that. So if it happens in the Gulf, no dispersants will be applied. I can't say that that's true off the coast of Brazil or
I understand that.
in the Alaskan area. Yes.
Along that same line, I was going to ask, did we not learn anything from the Exxon spill? I realize the climate, the geography, and everything.
Oh, they're so similar, and economically almost identical.
Were there any methods or anything learned that they...
I think so. They knew how long it was going to take this time. They didn't have an idealistic picture of how long it was going to take to recover. But economically, if you drive along the Gulf Coast, there are closed seafood markets, closed seafood restaurants, closed hotels that may or may not reopen. I have great friends who are shrimpers with $600,000 boats with nowhere to take them to shrimp. So I think if you know, almost identical to the town of Valdez in that area as far as the economic effects. Yes, ma'am, in the orange.
Well, I grew up at Orange Beach in the summer, but that was the 50s and 60s, and there were still tar balls. But my brother is in Alabama, and he has a company whose business for the last 10 years has been cleaning up oil spills with bacteria. They wouldn't even talk to him at all. Do you know why they wouldn't? I mean, the bacteria eats it up,
yes,
and it's totally gone, and then the bacteria dies. Do you know why?
They told us that they were assuming that the bacteria would naturally break down this oil. Remember when the EPA said it was gone? Yeah. So I'm hoping that some of that's taking place on the Gulf floor today. But they didn't want help from anyone. 22 different countries offered to help us, and we refused help from all of them. BP and the federal government said that they could handle it. Thank you very much.
Wow, he lives down there and had worked for the military before, but they wouldn't even talk to him. But I just wondered if there was anything you had heard why they wouldn't do anything.
I haven't heard why they wouldn't accept help like that.
I read an article that Kevin Costner made some...
He's a smart guy, isn't he? He came up with several designs and several... Oh, she was talking about Kevin Costner and his involvement in the oil spill cleanup. He came up with some engineering designs. He tried to help with the capping of the spill itself and gave them some good ideas there that probably saved us 24 days of more oil gushing into the Gulf. So they were willing to listen to him. I don't know if he had a direct line to BP or what.
So they used his invention?
They did, yeah. And the sand shark was designed by another, one of Al Gore's staff people. So they were accepting some help internally. I don't know how they picked and choose. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience.